Activity exercise number 1. So sasagutan natin dito sa video na ito yung ating activity exercise na nasa dulo ng inyong module 1 entitled Function, Limit, and Continuity. For number 1, yung question natin yung function of x is equals to x minus 5 all over x squared plus 4. Okay? So dito yung f of x, pinapalitan natin siya ng iba-ibang value of x. Say, sa ating letter A, yung gagamitin natin, yung x natin ay equals to 2. Okay? So this should be equals to 2 minus 5 all over 2 squared plus 4. And that is equals to negative 3 over 4 squared is 4 plus 4 is 8. That is equals to negative 3 over 8. Okay? For letter B, yung value ng x natin ay equals naman siya sa 3.5. And that is equals to 3.5 minus 5 all over 3.5 squared plus 4. 3.5 minus 5 in fraction form is equals to negative 3/2. Whereas yung 3.5 squared in fraction form is equals to 49 over 4 plus a whole number 4. And simplifying further the equation, this will give us negative 3/2 all over 65 over 4. Okay? Take note that our numerator and the denominator is same fraction. Okay? So kapag ganyan, ang gagawin natin, proceed tayo sa multiplication and then the last part, yung ating denominator, ang gagawin natin ay i-reciprocal natin siya. Okay? And this would equals to negative 3/2 times reciprocal ng denominator is 4 over 65. In this case, we can cancel 2 and 4 and then multiply the numerator times the numerator and then the denominator times the denominator will give us negative 6 over 65 or negative 6 over 65. Okay? For number 3, yung ating value of x is equals to a quantity a plus 1. Quantity a plus 1. So therefore, yung ating x value is quantity a plus 1 and this is equals to a plus 1 minus 5 all over a quantity a plus 1 squared plus 4. Yung ating numerator na a plus 1 minus 5 can be simplified into a minus 4. Whereas yung ating denominator, we can expand that, yung ating quantity a plus 1 squared, pwede natin siyang i-expand into a squared plus 2a plus 1 and then plus the whole number na 1. Okay? And kapag sinimplify natin yung ating denominator, it will give us to this equation, a squared plus 2a plus 5. Then, copy mo lang yung ating numerator na a minus 4. And yan yung ating final answer sa letter C. Okay? For letter D naman, yung ating value of x is equals to the radical. So, square root of a. Ganyan. And this would be equals to, yung numerator natin ay square root of a minus 5 all over quantity square root of a squared plus 4. So kapag meron tayong, yung numerator hindi magbabago, diba? Pero yung denominator natin ay square root a raised to 2, matatanggal or makakancel yung square root at saka squared, diba? And maiiwan na lang dyan is equals to, yung ating numerator ay square root of a minus 5 and a plus 4. And this will give us our final answer for letter D. Okay? And for the last letter, yung letter E naman natin, to our explicit function, yung value of x is equals to a squared. Okay? So this will give us a squared minus 5 all over a squared raised to 2 plus 4. So kapag meron tayong a squared raised to 2, ang gagawin natin, i-add lang natin yung ating exponent. And this will give us a squared minus 5 all over a raised to 4 plus 4. At ito na yung ating final answer for letter E. Okay? So we come now to letter or number 2, yung ating limit. Okay? Meron tayong 2a, 2b, 2c, 2d, at saka 2e. For 2a, yung ating question ay, find the limit of a function x squared minus 4x plus 3. As x approaches to 2. So based dun sa ating mga rules, sa ating limit, pwede natin siyang paghiwa-hiwalayin. Ano? So this would be equals to limit of x squared as x approaches to 2 minus limit of 4x as x approaches to 2 plus limit of 3, yung constant 3 natin, as x approaches to 2. Ngayon, yung ating limit of x raised to 2 ay pwede natin siyang i-simplify pa. So, ilalabas natin yung squared niya para ang maiwan sa loob ay yung limit of x as x approaches to 2 so that madali natin siyang i-substitute. So, this would be ganyan. So, braces of limit of x then squared as x approaches to 2. Minus, mauuna na dito yung ito yung ano, di ba? Yung merong constant at saka merong x, variable x. And this would be equals to 4 limit of x as x approaches to 2 plus 3. Kasi constant yan, di ba? Constant rule yon. Okay? So yung limit of x as x approaches to 2 can now replace by 2. Okay? So this would be equals to 2 raised to 2 minus 4 times 2 plus 3. And this should equals to 4 minus 8 plus 3. And that is equals to negative 1. Okay? So if you try the value of x approaches to 2, as 2 yung value of x, ito yung lalabas. Pero kung nag-try ka ng value of x na malapit sa 2, like for instance, meron tayong 1.99 or kaya naman ay 2.01 or 2.1, ang lalabas na value ay mas malapit din dito. Nearest siya sa negative 1. Okay? For number 2 or 2b. Sa 2b naman, yung question natin ay limit of, ito fraction, no? Yung numerator natin ay 4x plus 2 all over x plus 4 as x approaches to 3. Okay? So lahat natin siya lalagyan ng limit. Yung process kasi, di ba, parang we have to take the limit of each term. Okay? And this would be equals to limit of 4x as x approaches to 3 plus limit of 2 as x approaches to 3, all over yung limit of x as x approaches to 3 plus limit of 4 as x approaches to 3. Ito yung process. Then after that, pwede natin siyang isimplify into 4 limit of x as x approaches to 3 plus 2 all over yung limit of x, pwede na natin siyang eliminate, di ba? To x plus 4. Kasi ito ay magiging din siyang x. Okay? So, palitan ko na lang para hindi na tayo mag-ano. So, this should be equals to 4 times x plus 2 all over x plus 4. So ito pa rin yun, di ba? Okay, so pinapakita lang natin yung process. And then substitute now the value of x, that is 3. So you can use value of x na malapit sa 3 or nearest. Kasi sabi naman is approaches, di ba? Approaches siya sa 3. And this would be equals to 4 times 3 plus 2 all over 3 plus 4. This will give us 12 plus 2 all over 7, and that is 14 over 7, or simply that is equals to 2. If you try the value of x is equals to 2, ito yung lalabas. Okay? Kaya lang kapag nag-try ka na yung x value ay 1.99 or any number nearest to 2, ang lalabas din ay malapit din siya sa exact value na 2. Okay? So pwedeng 2 point something or 1 point something yung lalabas. Okay? For letter C, we have the limit of a function 2x plus cube root of x minus 4 as x approaches to 8. Okay? And this will give us equals to 2 times x or 8 plus cube root of x minus 4. And simply this will give us 16 plus ito ay 8, cube root of 8 or 2 raised to cube is equals to cube root of 8. Is equals to 8, di ba? So meaning yung cube root of 8 is equals to 2 minus 4. 16 plus 2 is 18 minus 4 is equals to 14. If you try the value of x is equals to 8, ito yung lalabas. And then if you try naman yung value of x is 7.95 or say yung x mo ay 8.1, malapit pa rin dito yung lalabas na value, malapit sa 14. Okay? For 2D, we have the limit of x cubed minus 64 all over x squared minus 16 as x approaches to 4. Okay? So alam natin na yung x cubed minus 64 can be simplified into this, a cubed plus b cubed, or simply a cubed minus b cubed. Okay? Kung saan ito ay pwede natin siyang i-expand. Okay? So kapag meron tayong a cubed, ito, a cubed plus b cubed, this would equals to the quantity a plus b times the quantity, idodouble mo lang yung ating first term, ito yung second term, so a squared, then minus, i-multiply mo yung first and second term, ab, then i-squared mo yung last term na b, or b squared. Okay, kapag ka naman a cubed minus b cubed, this will give us the value of a minus b times a squared plus ab plus b squared. So ito yung gagamitin natin in this case kasi negative siya, di ba? So ngayon, sorry. Yung 64 ba, pwede natin siyang i-reduce para maging b squared yung kanyang format. Yung 64, di ba, is equals to a 4 raised to 3. Kasi, di ba, 4 times 4 is 16 times 4 is 64. 16 times 4 is equals to 64. Meaning, in this case, yung ating a, kung ipapattern natin siya doon sa ating a cubed minus b cubed, yung ating a is equals to x, while yung ating b is equals to 4. Okay? So, therefore, yung ating numerator would be equals to x minus 4 times x squared plus 4x plus 16. So, ito yung kanina, di ba? Over, ito naman ay will give us the value of a quantity x minus 4 times x plus 4. In this case, we can cancel this 2 kasi same sila, di ba? And will give us a simplified of x squared plus 4x plus 16 all over x plus 4. Then, substitute the value of x in yung ating 4. Okay? And this will give us 4 raised to 2 plus 4 times 4 plus 16 all over 4 plus 4. And this will give us 16 plus 16 plus 16 all over 8. Or simply that is 48 over 8, or that is equals to 6. Okay? So now, if you try the value of x is something, any number approaches to 8. Say for instance, 7.99, 7.98, or 7.95. Yung lalabas pa rin na value ay malapit doon sa 6. For the last number, 2e, or last problem, we have the limit of, ito radical, sorry, may bar. Yung ating numerator ay square root of x squared minus 9 over all over x minus 3 as x approaches to 3. So ito, meron akong tinuro sa ating discussion wherein you can multiply this numerator and the denominator or whole number siya kapag may radical, imumultiply mo siya to itself. So this would give us a square root of x squared minus 9, times square root of x squared minus 9, then yung denominator niya. In this case, mawawala yung radical sa taas and will give us x squared minus 9 all over quantity x minus 3 times square root of x squared minus 9. Okay? And kapag ka naman isimplify natin siya, yung ating numerator will give us dalawang x plus 3 at saka, x plus 3 minus x minus 3. At sa baba naman, we have quantity x minus 3, square root of x squared minus 9. Therefore, we can cancel this one at ang maiiwan sa numerator natin ay x plus 3 and sa ating denominator ay square root of x squared minus 9. Okay? Simply, we can just substitute yung ating x as x approaches to 3. So this will give us 3 plus 3 all over square root of 3 squared minus 9. 3 squared is 9 minus 9 is 0, or square root of 0 is 0. So meaning yung ating denominator ay 0 at saka yung numerator natin ay 6. So 6 over 0, or limit does not exist. Therefore, this is infinity. Okay? For the other solution, we can get that using instead na ito, multiply natin siya dyan, pwede natin siyang gawin na you enclose this numerator and denominator or the whole function and then raise nyo siya sa 2 or squared para matanggal yung radical sign. So, squared natin ito at ang mangyayari yung numerator natin, ang maiiwan na lang ay x squared minus 9. Whereas yung ating denominator ay x minus 3 squared, diba? So kapag in-expand natin yan, this will give us to x, quantity x plus 3 times quantity x minus 3. Then sa baba ay dalawang x minus 3 times x minus 3. Cancelled. Ang naiwan ay x plus 3 all over x minus 3. Substitute now the value of x, which is 3. 3 plus 3 all over 3 minus 3. And this will give us 6 over 0. Same sa kanina, di ba? And infinity, and the limit does not exist. So that's all for our activity exercise number 1.